Last night, I saw myself watching me from the alley, but I swear to you it wasn't me. Where are you watching from tonight? Somewhere safe, I hope. I don't expect sympathy. That's not why I'm telling you this. I just need someone to hear it, to believe me, even a little. You see, I wasn't always like this, living out here, sleeping on cardboard and collecting cigarette butts like they're worth gold. There was a time, not even that long ago, when I had a place, a job, a wife who laughed like summer wind, and a daughter who used to call me Super Dad. Every time I fixed the Wi-Fi, I still remember the way her little arms would wrap around my neck when I came home late from work. Then it all unraveled, slowly, quietly, like a rope that's been soaked through and starts to fray strand by strand. Lost the job first. Downsizing, they called it. Corporate efficiency, my ass. The money dried up quick. Too proud to ask for help. Too stupid to accept it when it came. I thought I could fix it. Thought I had time. Thought I was still that man with answers in his back pocket. Turns out, when things fall apart, they don't wait for you to catch up. My wife took our daughter and left. Can't blame her. Not really. I wasn't a man anymore. I was a shell that drank too much and blamed the sky for being gray. One day, I woke up and they were gone. No note, just silence and empty drawers. That was 10 years ago. 10 years of sleeping on benches, park grass, shelter mats if I was lucky. 10 years of people looking through me like I was a smudge on their clean little world. You learn to go quiet, to disappear in plain sight. And if you're lucky, you forget how warm beds feel and how hot showers smell. Forgetting makes it easier. Now, there's this one spot I usually take when a night comes crawling. A patch behind the old liquor store, half covered by a busted-out sign and a stack of moldy pallets. Dry mostly, out of the wind. But last night, someone beat me to it. Probably Carl. He's quicker than he looks when it's cold enough to bite. So I wandered, looking for somewhere else to settle in, even just for a few hours. The city doesn't sleep, but it forgets you exist after midnight. That's when the silence sets in, when the shadows stop, pretending they belong to something harmless. I turned down this alley I'd never tried before. Narrow, crooked like a drunk man's spine. Smelled wrong, like old pennies and wetwood left to rot. The kind of damp that clings to your lungs and doesn't let go. Still, it was empty, and in my world, that's a luxury. I figured I'd curl up near a vent and wait for morning. Maybe bum a coffee off the bakery girl. When she opened up, she gives me one sometimes, when her boss isn't looking. Calls me sir, which feels stranger than any nightmare I've had. I just needed a rest. That's all. Just close my eyes for a while. And maybe forget for a night that I used to be someone. I hadn't been sitting long, maybe 10, 15 minutes, when I noticed something at the far end of the alley. It was standing there. Still. Too still. At first, I thought it was just someone else trying to catch a night's peace. Happens all the time. You find a half-decent corner, and someone's already claimed it like it's beachfront property. I squinted through the dark, waiting to see if they'd move, maybe wave me off. Nothing. They didn't shift, didn't flinch, didn't scratch their neck or cough, or even blink, far as I could tell. I sat up a little. "Hey!" I called out. Just one word. Friendly enough. Didn't want trouble. I've learned it's best to make your presence known before you startle someone who's been sleeping rough. Could get your nose broken otherwise. Still nothing. Didn't even tilt their head. "Hey, man," I said again louder. "You good?" Nothing. No answer. No movement. Just silence. Except there was this sound. Faint. Rhythmic. Like water dripping somewhere it shouldn't be. Tap. 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 But the ground was dry. I looked around. No gutters. No pipes overhead. And the air, it didn't feel like rain. It felt flat. Heavy. I stood up. Slow. My knees popped like old wood. My back was already aching from the cold concrete. But suddenly I wasn't thinking about comfort anymore. I was focused on the shape at the end of the alley. It was still there, unmoving, watching. Maybe I stepped forward, just 1 foot, and I swear to God, it did the same. My leg froze midair. The blood in my neck felt like it had stopped. I didn't breathe, didn't blink. I just stared, and it stared back, though I still couldn't make out the face. I waited to see if it would do it again. Nothing. So I moved. So did it. Same step, same pace. Like a mirror with half a second of lag. I wasn't seeing right. Had to be a trick of the dark. I rubbed my eyes, blinked hard, looked again. Still there. Still waiting. It was like the alley had grown longer in the last few seconds, like the walls had stretched, pushing me further from the exit without moving my feet. I felt smaller, like I'd walked into something I didn't understand. And yet, I didn't go back. I should have. I should have turned and walked away. Found another alley. Slept on the sidewalk. Taken my chances with the rain. Anything. But I didn't. Because something in me needed to know. I took another step forward. It did too. Not just the step, everything. The angle of the foot, the sway of the arms, the tiny lean of the shoulders. All of it exactly the same. Only off, a second late, like it was studying me first, then catching up. I squinted harder, trying to make out the face. It was hard to tell with the dark pressing in on both sides, but I saw the outline clearer now. The coat, the boots, even the way the collar of the shirt curled up from overuse. I knew those folds. I knew that walk. It was wearing my clothes. No, it wasn't just wearing them. They were my clothes. That was my coat. My torn sleeve. The stitching I did with dental floss 2 winters ago. The faint white ring from when I spilled bleach trying to wash it in a public bathroom. And the face, God, that was my face. My jawline, crooked nose from a teenage fight. The scar above the left eyebrow I got when I slipped on ice behind the old diner. It looked like me. All of me. Except the eyes. They were too wide. Too clear. Too awake. There was something else too. The way its mouth curled into a grin the second I noticed a resemblance. Like it had been waiting for me to realize. And that grin, it stretched just a bit too far. The corners reached almost to the jaw. And the teeth, those weren't mine. I've seen my smile. In photos. In mirrors. In memories that still sneak up sometimes when I'm trying to sleep. This wasn't that. These teeth were straight like piano keys, but sharper, longer. As if someone had tried to copy my mouth and gave up halfway through. And it twitched. That's what got me. The face kept twitching little flickers, like it was glitching through different expressions. Like it was trying them on, seeing which one fit. I raised a hand. Slowly. It raised its hand too. Late again. I opened my mouth. Who are you? And then it spoke. Same voice. Same words. Same confusion. Who are you? But it came just after mine. Like it wasn't replying. Like it was copying. I stood there frozen, mouth dry as dust. My mind was trying to catch up, trying to make sense of it. I hadn't eaten in 2 days. My head was aching. My legs felt hollow. Maybe it was all in my head. Maybe I was seeing things, hearing echoes that weren't there. Was I going crazy? Was I finally slipping off the edge? Had I really spent so long alone that I started inventing people who looked like me, sounded like me, were me? I thought of walking away. But I couldn't, because it was still smiling, still watching, still waiting. I turned to run. Didn't even think about it. My body just moved. Survival kicking in faster than reason. And that's when I felt it. Behind me. Close. Too close. I whipped around and it was there. Inches from my face. Same coat. Same filthy collar. Same unshaven jaw. I could see the pores on its skin. The cracks in its lips. I could smell it. Like rust and old meat left in the sun. My legs locked up. My heart sounded like fists on a locked door. It lunged. Fast. Too fast. I barely got my arm up before it hit me. Full force, knocking the wind from my chest. We hit the ground hard. My head bounced against the concrete, and for a second, everything went white. Then it was on top of me, its hands around my throat. Those weren't hands. They looked like hands. Felt like them too, cold, calloused, strong. But when they squeezed, there was no hesitation, no rhythm. Just pressure, like a machine programmed to crush. I thrashed, kicked, clawed at its face. My face. Nothing worked. It stared down at me with eyes I'd seen 1,000 times in broken mirrors. Only now they looked empty. Not dead. Not alive. Just blank. I reached out and grabbed the first thing my fingers touched. A chunk of rusted pipe. Probably part of a railing or something. Didn't matter. I swung. Hard. It cracked against the thing's temple. It recoiled, mouth twisting like it was trying to smile and scream at the same time. Black fluid spilled from a wound. Not blood. Thicker. Sticky. Like tar. It hissed. A wet, gurgling sound that rattled in its throat. I hit it again. And again. I don't remember how many times. I just remember the way of the pipe in my hand, and the way its face started to come apart. Not break open like flesh, but pull apart like it was unraveling from the inside. And it still didn't stop. It grabbed at me, clawing, scratching. Every time I landed a blow, more of that thick, reeking stuff poured out, coating my hands, splattering my face. My arms ached. My lungs burned. But I couldn't stop. I didn't know what would happen if I let it get back up. And then, it did something I'll never forget. It looked at me, with my own eyes. Mouth torn, face caved in. And it said in my exact voice, "I forgive you." I don't know what happened after that. Something in me broke, or snapped, or maybe I let go of something I didn't even know I was holding on to. But that voice, those words, rattled to me deep in the hits of fear or even a rage, because I never asked for forgiveness, and no one ever offered it. I don't remember falling, but I know I hit the ground hard. My shoulder cracked against the pavement, and the pipe rolled from my fingers like it weighed 100 pounds. Everything in me hurt. My chest, my arms, my head. My mouth was full of iron and ash. I just lay there for a while, staring up at the dark slice of sky above the alley, breathing like every inhale might be the last one I earned. I thought it was over. I thought it was dead, or whatever passed for dead in a thing like that. But then I heard it. Not one sound. Many, not footsteps exactly, more like the air being disturbed in soft, wrong ways. Like someone was moving without touching the ground. I pushed myself up on shaking elbows. My arms felt like they didn't belong to me anymore. And that's when I saw them. Figures. In the corners. Between the bins. Along the walls. Behind the broken fence near the back. All of them shaped like people. All of them shaped like me. Not identical, not clean copies like the first. These were twisted, bent in ways that didn't make sense. One had a face stretched sideways like melting wax. Another was hunched so low its arms dragged on the ground, but the head, my head, was upright, smiling. Another one had no mouth at all, just empty skin where a mouth should be. They didn't move. Not toward me. Not away. Just stood there, watching. And I watched them back. I didn't speak. I didn't dare. I didn't have anything left to say anyway. One by one, they started to fade. Not like someone walking away, but like smoke caught in the wind. Their outlines thin, flickered, disappeared. Even the tar-black stains on the pavement started to dry into nothing. Like none of it happened. But I knew it did. I still had the bruises. Still had the ache in my ribs. Still had the smell on my skin. The pipe was gone, though I looked for it later. Never found it. Not a drop of black anywhere. Not a smear. Not a mark. The alley was empty. Or maybe they're just hiding better now. I've thought about that night every single day since. And not just because of what I saw, but because of what I did. What did I kill? Was it even alive? Was it me? There's this moment I keep replaying in my head. That exact second after the last swing, when the pipe slipped out of my hand, and the thing looked up at me with my own face and said, "I forgive you." The sound of it was too calm, like it had expected this the whole time, like it wanted me to do it. And ever since then, I've wondered, what if I didn't destroy something that came to hurt me? What if I destroyed something that came to show me? The truth is, I've hated myself for a long time. I don't say that for pity. I'm just being honest. There are things I've done, things I've said, things I let happen, that I carry with me like broken glass under my skin. I remember the look on my sister's face the last time we spoke. She told me to get help. I told her to mind her own business. I never saw her again. I remember my father's belt, my mother's silence, the way I flinched every time someone raised a hand near me, even if it was just a wave. I remember every door I slammed, every promise I broke. Every night, I woke up in a stranger's apartment not knowing how I got there, or who I hurt on the way. So maybe that thing wasn't some creature from the dark. Maybe it wasn't a demon, or a ghost, or some trick of the mind. Maybe it was something I made, the part of me I buried, the part one pushed down again and again until it had nowhere else to go, until it found a way out. And maybe it didn't want to kill me. Maybe it wanted to be seen, acknowledged, faced. I keep wondering, what if I had talked to it? Really talked. Not with fear. Not with fists. What would it have said? Would it have begged? Would it have cried? Would it have reminded me of the things I forgot just to survive? I'll never know now. All I have are questions. And silence. And the memory of my own voice telling me it was okay. Telling me it forgave me, even when I didn't ask. I left that alley behind and haven't looked back since. Not because I'm brave, or because I think it's gone. No, I left because I'm tired. Tired of fighting shadows that were my face. Tired of waking up wondering if the person staring back at me in the mirror is really me, or just another trick. I can't sleep right now. Not really. Every time I close my eyes, I feel something watching, not just out there in the darkness, but inside my head, like it's waiting for me to forget to let my guard down. Mirrors? I covered every single one I could find. Old sheets, newspapers, anything to block the glass. It's like I'm scared of what might look back. Or maybe I'm scared of what might smile back. Because sometimes, when I'm not even thinking about it, I catch myself smiling. And I know damn well I'm not happy. Not really. It's not me. I haven't seen it since that night. But the thing is, I'm not sure it's gone. Maybe it's still here. Maybe it's part of me now. Waiting for the next time. Maybe it already knows something I don't. And maybe, so do you. Have you ever seen something that looked exactly like you but felt completely wrong? Let me know in the comments what you think I saw. Or better yet, who I saw. If this gave you chills, I've got more waiting in the dark. Subscribe to Eerie Short and Scary Stories if you dare.